He was in the Houston Rockets.
Man, this is if you're a Philadelphia 76er fan, I heard this was one of those games. Now, I did not watch this game, and I did not watch this highlight yet, so you're watching this one in real time with me. I heard Paul George was on one in this one. This is the NBA's full game highlight. They're kicking it off in the pretty much the second quarter here. I'm excited to see what we got here. Oh, Rob Dillingham. Ooh. He's got that burst, man. I was so shocked that the San Antonio Spurs let this young man go in a trade on draft day. I thought he was exactly what the doctor ordered for San Antonio. Andre Drummond recently said he's the greatest NBA rebounder of this generation. Don't know about that one, but hey, he said it.
47-29. Maxey with it.
Tyrese Maxey got the bag. Now I got to see the game to go with it. Kelly Oubre also got signed. For the first time in a long time, ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia 76ers seemingly have resolved a lot of their problems. Are they ready to go? Good preseason run against Naz Reid and the T-Wolves now. A lot of change in Minnesota, but the consistency remain, and Antman is the consistent now. It's his team. Cat's gone. It's a 20-point game here. Again, from what I've seen on Instagram, at some point Paul George starts to heat it up. He grabs the board away from the T-Wolves, and there's an easy deuce there. At some point, Cat's going to heat up.
Sixer debut.
I don't know when that, or I'm sorry, Paul George is going to heat up. I don't know when that point is, but it's got to be soon, right? We're just letting this thing run all the way through. No need to cut. We got 7 seconds or less offense as George nails the three. I'm out. PG 1-3. Let me pull up the stats for this one. Uh-oh, I think he's about to start cooking. Cayenne Anthony's GOAT.
Always attracting attention. Dante to the corner. Nas. 3-ball on the way. Hit the side of the back.
Ooh, Nas. Lord have mercy. I got to clean up what I messed up. I'm starting my life over again. Naz Reid, the rebound after that bad three, and then he makes the play on defense, and it's Mike Conley inside the dive. There go my boy. Naz Reid's one of my favorite players in the league, y'all. I didn't care about the cat trade because I know Minnesota got one of them ones and Naz Reid, and y'all already know what they got right there at the top of the key. The Antman is him, a superstar, if I've ever seen one. Yeah, I'm trying to see Paul George start to cook, though. I was told PG was cooking in this one. Unless these two teams play twice.
I asked Chris Finch, I said, hey, are those numbers,
because I ain't seen it yet.
For Ant? I mean, is that realistic?
Antman,
82 games?
I'm watching Antman cook, if anything. How many Ant have in this one?
Have their efficiency even higher. There is room for Anthony Edwards.
16 points in 24 minutes. Maybe they played twice. Because I feel like I've seen all of Ant's 16 points already. This is a 20-point game.
Ant backtracks, 8 to shoot. Splits 2 defenders, runs up down the lane.
Anthony Edwards is killing these boys. They had to play twice.
There may have been another Wolves bucket in there somewhere.
He is killing these boys.
Under a minute to go, first half. Maxey pulls up mid-range jumper right side.
Did they play twice?
No tip follow for Andre Drummond. Maxey between the
legs.
No,
this is the game.
Points, 1 assist.
This is the game.
George.
So George, Mike Conley on him. He got to take advantage of that. Ooh, that's nasty.
Angle, 3 on the way, got it.
15-point game.
4 of 8 from long range. 18 first half points.
Ain't no way.
PG.
Oh, beautiful dime.
Pushing. Here's McDaniels. Left side triple.
Oh,
no
he had
good.
a look.
Rebound. Jaden with it.
Oh, my God. What in the hell? Wow.
Oubre, Martin, George, and
Andre Drummond.
Nice hesitation.
Andre Drummond is one of my favorite preseason players because he does things that he never does in a game in a preseason, which is what most guys should do. But he always has a highlight every preseason. It never fails. He always has like a legit, real highlight. You're like, what? Oubre, the steal. Nice play of the passing lanes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, wish you could have that one back. Maxey. Okay, I'm him. 9-point game. 9-point game.
Wolves are 0 for 2 with 3 turnovers.
Lazy pass from George. Still trying to figure it out. Antman.
Catch and shoot 3, missed it. Dante soars it. Oh, got a hand
Naz Reid. How many Nas have in this one? Let's see what he had. I feel like he had a really good game.
35 in a game that
Oubre.
Joel Embiid had 51. Oubre knocks down the triple.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Game in Philadelphia last year in December where
Embiid
had 51.
Let me get that.
Had 35,
oh my God, did he call that?
In a 3 straight away. I'm not sure he called that.
How many Nas Reed had
now
with
it crosses over. Now
Nas Reed had
19. 3. Got it.
Maxey nails another 3. How many? Tyrese Maxey had 21.
16 and 27.
Paul George, here it is.
Elbow jumper.
So he's cooking. He had 23. Also keep in mind, no Joel Embiid, who I'm going to talk about more in a second here. It looks like not only will Joel Embiid not be playing in preseason games like this, it looks like his schedule and his career is about to get some significant change. He probably will never play another preseason game, or hell, for that matter, regular season game again. We'll talk about Embiid in a second more here. Big story out of the NBA incorporating him. All right, so y'all kind of lied to me now. Okay, so Paul George had 23 points, which is cool, but I feel like people sold it like Paul George had this crazy game in the preseason. I mean, it's cool. If anything, I'm more impressed with Nas Reed in this one. He's been the star to me. Him and Ant. I'm just not as impressed in George as people told me. People told me to check this highlight out.
Well, Paul George recognized the situation.
And I'm just not as impressed. I was hearing Philadelphia now has solved all of their problems that they've had this decade. I'm not as impressed as people told me to be, as Eric Gordon gets the and one.
McCain working against Dillingham, takes it right inside.
There goes the TikTok star McCain. Jaron with the deuce.
Philly's been down at 42%.
Will he have more TikToks or points scored this season is the question.
Able to finish that with ease.
All right, I think I'm good on this one, y'all. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I've seen enough. I feel like y'all lied to me a little bit about this one. I'm good. I'm good. Joel Embiid just made a pretty big announcement pertaining to the back end of his prime as a professional basketball player. Embiid recently admitted that his days of playing back-to-backs in the NBA are most likely over. Embiid has been a workhorse for Philadelphia since he got to the league and got healthy for the Sixers. But by playoff time, because he's asked to do so much for Philly in the regular season, and because of his body type, how big he is, but how agile he is as a player, he's beat the hell. He's a shell of himself, and the former MVP cannot ever expect to get over the hump, get to a conference finals, get to an NBA finals, let alone win the thing, playing the way that he plays in the playoffs, and he knows it, so he's altering what games look like for him in the regular season. The NBA has done a good job of reducing back-to-backs in the NBA regular season. 3 out of 4 nights, games being played. They've tried their best. Obviously, when you get to the playoffs, there are no back-to-backs. Embiid's thing is getting to the playoffs, and he's making an adjustment to do just that. I'm just thinking about the fan. If I'm paying to see Embiid play basketball for Philadelphia, do I get half off on my ticket if one of the biggest stars and draws in the NBA isn't playing in the game that I paid for? I hate it's got to be this way for Embiid. I'm not surprised. And I also don't know if this will actually help his body, him playing less basketball. He's trying to do whatever he can, though, to just make it through the season healthy for Philadelphia. I want to know some of y'all thoughts on this. It's a big development. As great as Paul George was, the biggest announcement to come out of Philadelphia this week so far is that they're losing their MVP for a decent amount of regular season games. I will have to go through Philly's schedule to see how many back-to-backs they got. By the way, not to mention this, Embiid is pretty much guaranteed one somewhat significant injury a year. I know the last few years, Embiid's been healthier than in the past. He had a pretty decent injury last year. He was really trying to go for that back-to-back MVP last year. He really wanted to push through. Obviously, again, the season before that was the MVP year. Embiid has put a lot of wear and tear on his body. And in the regular season, he oftentimes gets hurt. And also, even if he's able to rest a little bit in the regular season, he's still hurt come playoff time. So I don't really have evidence that playing less basketball will be beneficial for Joel's body. Again, the body is not made to play basketball 120 nights out of a 365 year, especially when you're 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", and for Joel Embiid's sake, at least 7 feet, right? Like, the body doesn't have to work well with that. These phenomenal athletes do all they can to train their body to get acclimated to that type of wear and tear, that type of jumping up and down, lateral movements, all of that in between. But the body is not supposed to do those type of things. That's why these guys get paid the biggest bucks there is. I don't know if Embiid's body type is going to get adjusted to playing less basketball or playing more basketball. He may just be one of those guys that just needs to be gracious for whatever he gets. I don't know if him playing less will mean to a healthy Embiid in the playoffs. That's my biggest fear. And now if you're Philly, then you don't even get the top seeding that you would get in theory with having Embiid play most of the regular season, because this dude wins you a lot of regular season games. I want your thoughts on this one. Big development for the Sixers. Not surprised we got to this point. I think I'm maybe a year or so early on when I thought we'd get here, 2 years or so earlier than what I expected. But, you know, I always told you guys, for all my longtime supporters out there, I always felt like Philadelphia should be in championship or bust mode the moment Embiid entered his prime, which has been about 5 or 6 years now. You know, a lot of guys, like if you got a Giannis on your team, you know, knock on wood, Giannis's body and his frame, it looks incredible, and it looks like he's going to be a prime athlete for maybe another decade strong, the way he's built. I always said Embiid's not going to have that type of runway as an NBA player. And I know Philadelphia, you know, was doing the Ben Simmons 1-2 dance. They played around with the Jimmy Butler contract. They played around with the James Harden situation. You maybe wasted Embiid's prime years already. There's no guarantee this dude's going to have another 3 to 5 year window as one of the game's best players. Look at Kawhi Leonard. I mean, his body's been shot for about 5 to 6 years now. His injury history is similar to what Embiid has had in his career. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out. If you love flexing your sports knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports and win some money while you're at it. That's Underdog. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play too. All you got to do is go to the Underdog website or app. You got to pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that specific game. You get your picks right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And when you sign up, if you use your boy's promo code, which is Ferro, your deposit will get matched up to $1,000 is available to you in bonus cash. You can't beat that. Tap in with Underdog. My promo code is Ferro.